tube. It's Monday, April 6th, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're getting some thunderstorms here, or close to it, in Lehi, Utah. It's probably about 68 degrees or so, and the wind is blowing so hard it's blowing against my window, and where I'm doing the floss tube and kind of shattering things around. It's blowing against the walls, and that's what it gets like here when there's a change of weather. Anytime it's going to change from cold to hot, hot to cold, the wind starts blowing, whipping up like 45, 50 miles an hour, and we always know the weather's going to be different. Anyway, I'm Colette, the Highway Stitcher, and I'm coming to you from the highway and at home to show you my stitching, to let you know what I've been doing. I've been pretty tired this last week. Kept saying that I was going to do a floss tube, and every day I was just very, very tired and exhausted, and just had a lot of things on my mind, a lot of things to do, grandkid performances to go to, and just not sleeping the best. So anyway, I decided now was the time to do it. I kind of felt up to it, and I thought I better go for it. And I want to let you know what I was doing on the highway as far as stitching the last week and a half, and I want to let you know what I was doing on Maynia too, because we're into Maynia now, and I have to let you know what I'm doing. Before I do that, I want to thank you all for subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate everybody, really, really do. I appreciate all the shout outs that I've gotten from people, so many kind, sweet people, and I love you all. Thank you so, so much for all your comments and all your likes and loves and everything that you do. My Instagram name is Colette Stitcher. If you want to check me out on Instagram, I've been posting pictures on Instagram the last few days for Stitch Mania. So if you want to check and see what I've been doing every day for Stitch Mania, you can check it there. And again, thank you so much for subscribing. I really do appreciate it. About a week and a half ago, I was in Idaho, Boise, Idaho. And you probably, if any of you are subscribed to Melanie Smith's Yarns and Threads Floss Tube, you would have heard that she had a mini retreat. And there was about 6 of us there. And we really had a good time. It was just an intimate, small retreat. And we were able to, talk to everybody. It wasn't too crazy, too many people. And we were able to go out to eat together and sit at the same table. We went to a really good Mexican food place and to Cracker Barrel and I think we went to Applebee's too for our dinners. We also had Stitch and Give gifts, our SAG gifts. We also had goodie bags and freebie table where we could pick up patterns. So it was a very nice, small, intimate retreat, and I appreciate Melanie for putting it on. I really do. I drove there on Thursday, which was about a week and a half ago, and probably around the 24th of April, I think, though I don't have my calendar in front of me to check. It was the last weekend in April, and I drove there on Thursday, and we stitched at night, Thursday evening. And Saturday we also stitched and gave our SAG gifts to each other and got our goodie bags. And then, Friday we stitched and did our SAG gifts. And then Saturday we also stitched too. And so Melanie's pretty much showed you all the things that were in the goodie bag and what we got from vendors and things. So since that was a while ago, so I'm just going to show you just a couple special things that I got that weren't related to the goodie bag. Melanie found these bobbins for me and got them for me. I think that was really, really nice. She found this pair of bobbins with the spangles on the end. So she knows me real well. She knows I love to lace. So Melanie, thank you so much for these bobbins. I really, really do appreciate them. And then also, I got the SAG gift from Melanie's daughter, Carrie, who stitches. And she made this pillow with the little tassels and the cute tree and the birds. And Melanie and Carrie, thank you so very much. Melanie for the retreat, Carrie for stitching this for me and finishing it. Carrie's going to be married in October, and so I wish her and her husband Kai all the best wishes and love to them, and appreciate so much her making this for me and me getting it. So anyway, that was a real fun retreat. And I do have some progress on the 3 projects I did take to the retreat. I worked on Thursday night, I worked on Pumpkinville for a little bit. And then Friday, I worked on the Mayflower Landing all day. And Sunday, I worked on A Savior's Praise all day. When I got back here for, I guess it was about 2 days before we started Stitch Maynia, I also worked on Mayflower for a couple more days. So I do have some progress to show you on things. For Pumpkinville, it's just a little bit. I'm behind, but I did work on it. So I finished up the bakery. So there you can see it. You can see the 2 of them together. And then there's the bakery there with it all finished up. So I finished it up that evening. I had about a quarter of it left to do. And that is done on Picture This Plus Heroic 28 count with all the called for DMC. And as I said on Friday, and also on Monday and Tuesday of last week, I worked on Mayflower Landing. There's the pattern. And here's what I got done. Let's see here, I've got the threads there. So I'll just leave that hanging. Oh, got it backwards. That's why the thread was hanging off the back, because it was backwards. Anyway, here's what I got done, quite a bit, and I'm really happy with the progress I made. It's on Picture This Plus Oaken, and it's with the called for threads, over-dyed cotton threads, and it's really turning out nice. I've really enjoyed stitching on this. The only thing I didn't like about doing Maynia was having to stop working on this. I haven't had no time. It always happens to me on Maynia. I have all this time to stitch when I'm not doing Maynia. And then the second Maynia starts, it's like I have no time to stitch. And I hardly get anything done on Maynia. And I go, much less doing any other project. So I'm just going, wonderful. Anyway, hopefully things will loosen up some to where and give me a little more time where I can possibly do Mayflower, maybe, an hour or so of it after I've done Maynia. Right now, it's all I can do just to keep up on the Maynia. Saturday instead of Sunday, the last Sunday when I was traveling home from Boise, so I couldn't really work on A Savior's Praise then, which is this pattern here by Shakespeare's Peddler. So what I did is I substituted working on it on Saturday. And this is what I've gotten done so far. It is stitched on 40 count Edinburgh flax Zweigart with the called for DMC conversion. And I did a couple more letters and also the hope and continued on across the top there is mostly what I did when I was at the retreat. And that's just turning out really nice. I love this piece. It's so fun to see everybody's progress on this piece. So those were my retreat pieces, and for the couple days after until Maynia started. And then we had Maynia. Let me see here if there's anything I want to bring up before Maynia, before I start Maynia. probably a little bit of haul that I got. I can bring that up, show you that first. I got a little bit of haul from 123 Stitch. I was enabled by Jen Upton. She mentioned, it's been a while ago now, but I didn't get a chance to get any of these patterns till about a couple weeks ago. And she mentioned that the Cooler Classic charts were back in stock, and 123 was carrying them. And I really like this one that she showed, Speak to the Earth. And when I saw that, I thought, I have to get that chart. I just really like that. It says, Speak to the earth, and it shall teach thee. Job 12. Ask now the beast, and they shall teach thee. And since I was on there, on the Cooler site, on the Cooler part of 123 Stitch, I saw some others that I also like too. This is Beehive Sampler. And I thought that was just really neat. Love all the look to that. It says, life is the flower of which love is the honey. I think that's a gorgeous piece. Both of these are designed by Sandy Orton. And I believe the last one that I got is too. Then I saw this Nature's Alphabet, a Cooler Classic chart by Sandy Orton. And I really like that too. So I picked up those, and then also last week, 123 Stitch had a new Little House Needleworks Farm Life, and my friend Sandra from the Utah Saturday Stitchers, she enabled me. She goes, did you see that new pattern on 123 Stitch? She says, it's just you, Colette, all over. So I looked on 123 and I went, oh my goodness, I can't pass that up. And so I ended up picking it up. It's called Farm Life. And it says, you cause the grass to grow for the livestock and plants for man to cultivate, that he may bring forth food from the earth. My goodness, the wind is blowing really hard. It's blowing against the wall. It's clunking trees against the wall. So if I all of a sudden jump up and turn off my video, you'll know that something blew through the window. Okay, I'm going to start with Maynia now, day 1 through day 5, and show you what I've been doing. The first day of Maynia, like I showed you on my my Maynia plans 2 weeks ago, was a whip. And it is Here Lie My Needles. I'll show you the pattern by Shakespeare's Peddler. It's that one where you stitch it and then you can have a spot for your old needles after you're done. This one, again, is a mystery piece of fabric. But looking at it closer, I know it's an even weave. And I believe it's some kind of it's got pink and it's got tan in it. I don't know if you can kind of tell that, the pinkish in it. And I got a little bit more done on it, but I don't know the name of the 28 count even weave, name of the color. But it's really a pretty color. Probably isn't showing up the bestest there, but it's kind of pinkish tones with a tan. And I got the part with the girl done. I had done the bees and the Here Lie My Needles and part of the border, and the little bit of time I had to do Maynia on that first day was done with doing the girl here, the woman, which is her head and her part of her body. So about 200 stitches. So I got, I got some stitching done on each one of them, but not as much as I would have liked. So, but that's how my Maynia tends to be for some reason. Whenever I started, I have all this time to stitch before, and I have no time to stitch during Maynia. Day 2 was also a whip. It was Heartstrings Samplery's Prairie Life Sampler. Beautiful piece about the little house characters and their house in the woods, and Pa's fiddles there, and also all the characters from Little House on the Prairie. When I did this one, started this one last year, I don't think I worked on it at all afterwards, if I remember right. Nothing more was worked on. So this time I did get another flower done, another part of the border, and a start on the trees. So that is a start. Again, it was probably about 200 stitches or so. And this, again, is a mystery fabric. I believe it's a 28 count. They called for 36 or 35, and I know I didn't have any of that, but I don't think it's a 32. Just doesn't look small enough to be that, and I didn't check before. It's more of like a cream colored or an antique white. But I am using the called for colors of floss, which are all overdyed cottons, like weeks, mostly weeks, I believe. So again, that was a fun stitch to do, and I wish I'd had more time to work on it. But a little bit's done. Okay, my next one on day 3 was a new start. It's the third in the series of Little House, Long May She Wave. And I have the other two done, Land of the Free, Home of the Brave. I managed to find enough fabric, I think, and I hope, to finish up this one. And somebody mentioned in their comments, I don't remember, I apologize, but they said that they had framed theirs horizontally and put one on top, you know, and had them 3 placed, and I think that would just be really nice, so I'm probably going to go for that. Anyway, again, not a whole lot stitched, but I did get the flag done. And this is on some kind of an even weave, probably a cream, and the other two are on the same. Oh my goodness gracious. Sure pounding out there with the wind. And this is overdyeds. And it was a kit, so the colors came with it. There's just 5 colors and they came with it. But one of the colors I am going to sub out because they were using a darker fabric for theirs, as you can see. And the white for both those stars and the house, when I tried it, is not showing up. So I'm going to have to find another color to replace that. The rest of the colors in the kit are fine. They're gonna be fine. So when I get back to this, I'll be subbing out a color, and I haven't decided. I don't know. I might go for like a blue, another kind of blue, to sub out, not a white. So that's day 3, Maynia. Day 4. Okay. May the 4th be with you, everybody. I am working on a Star Wars project last year that I started. And online pattern, Crazy Stitches. Crazy Stitch. And it is called We Do Star Wars. In this house, we do Star Wars. And I've read this one off before, but I didn't let you know that that was the name of the company. It's called Crazy Stitch. And so if you want to look them up online on Etsy, this is where I got the pattern. And instead of doing it on black fabric with the yellow, I opted to do it on a dove gray even weave that I had laying around with 310, DMC 310. Again, this is one that I wanted to get so much more done on it, and I didn't. The in was done from last year, and maybe a tiny bit of the T, very tiny. So I just got the rest of the T and starting on to the H. I know it was a lot of stitches because this is a lot of block work and it's quite a few stitches there, but maybe a couple hours worth of work, busy with things, and that's about all I got done. So So may the 4th be with everybody. And day 5 of Mania was another new start, my second new start. This one is going to be for a stitch along for our Utah Saturday Stitchers. There's another one that they're going to do too, but some of us are going to do this one. It's called Pink Sparrow Sampler by With Thy Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais. I am using a different fabric than what was called for, and let's see. Trying to see what it was called for. I'm doing a 28 count, and they had a 30 count linen that they're doing, and I believe it was like parchment, but they, yeah, it was a Picture This Plus parchment. I am using Picture This Plus Fog, and I was having so much fun working on this yesterday. I did not want to stop. I really like it, but I had to. Got to move on to the next one. Anyway, the colors were all working really great, even though it was on a totally different piece of fabric, until I got to the that lightish blue up there, and the called for color was Lexington green, and I substituted the Victorian Motto Blue Sunrise for the Lexington green because it showed up better on this fog. So it's possible I might have to sub out some other colors too. The other ones are the called for colors for it. But I just really like the way it's turning out on this fog. It's just looking really nice. So and that was just a guess on my part. So instead of the parchment. And that one I did not want to stop, but had to move on to other Maynia. So that's it for my Maynia, what I worked on. And I'll try to get by in a week and show you the rest of the Maynia, that I worked on this from today on, and try to keep up on it. And take a look at my Instagram or on Facebook, on Stitch Maynia Facebook page. I also am posting my Maynia starts for each day too. For my plans. Of course, I've got to keep working on Maynia. And if I have some time, if I really do have a day where I'm able to stitch practically all day, then I will also work on Mayflower Landing when I've got a chance. Because I'm just really excited about working on that. I really love the colors and the look and everything. So anyway, come back in a week, see what I've done for Maynia, and what other things I've done too. I'll try to post some pictures at the end of this video for the retreat that we had up in Idaho. And grateful to have you. Grateful that you're subscribing to my channel. And I ask you to please come back and if you like it, subscribe if you have not. And also too, remember the beauty that's on the highway and at home. And look for it out there. It will be there. Even with this crazy windy weather and blowing against the house, it's still pretty out there. And I'm grateful for everybody's support as I've been doing my floss tube journey. And tell you all to please have a great day, great afternoon, and happy stitching to you all, and happy Maynia. So bye all. Again, everybody, I forgot to show you what I did for bobbin lace this week, and I apologize for that. So I'm going to add a little bobbin lace section to this at the end of my video that I just finished. Anyway, I will show you what I've been working on this last week and tell you about this particular kind of lace. This is called Russian lace. Obviously, it was developed in Russia. This is a rooster. I have finished some of him, not everything, of course. I finished all the outline, and it is an orange and green and a metallic color for the middle threads. And then in the fillings, which will be all through here, these are the fillings. They will be in a dark green. That was the same green that I used for the sides of the edging to show the rooster. This is a fun lace to do, and I want to read to you a little bit of the history of this lace. It's just a really colorful, fun lace, and it can be traced back to the 12th century, which is a long time ago, when it was worn by royalty and used for ecclesiastical and ceremonial purposes. It was also found on sheets and aprons, and later on it got to be put on clothes more in the 18th century. Peasant dresses loved to put embroidery, bright embroidery, and lace work from linen threads. And they would use gold and silver and metallics in the making of their Russian bobbin lace also. And it's said the metal thread work died out kind of in the mid-19th century. Colored threads continued to be used and are a big part of Russian lace. And it's very, very much a notable characteristic of Russian lace. Bright colors, spectacular designs, a lot of animals, a lot of people designs, and it's very recognizable in Europe. Most people, when they take one look at Russian lace, and they know that it's Russian lace. So what are the characteristics of Russian lace? The country itself is so vast, as you know, and it possesses so many centers where lace was made for many centuries. So it's hard to generalize. It's difficult to generalize what characteristics there are. But one of the things, of course, is it's very bold looking, as you can tell. It's not just a dainty white lace. It's a very bold, colorful lace, as you can see. Thicker threads, brighter colors. It has fewer bobbins. It uses fewer bobbins in making it. Generally, what I used for this one was about 7 pair through here to make the outline. And for here, I'm only using 2 pair to fill in the fillings. It's really a satisfying lace to work on. It's a fun lace to work on. You can make a lot of progress on it really fast. And it's much better lace to admire from a distance. They have designs such as foliage, leaves, animals, birds, stars, people, landscapes, pageantry, geometrical designs, which is a little more recent. And the most attractive backgrounds could be snowflakes and intricate fillings that they have. This is like a circular filling. They have all kinds of fillings that are just very pretty. It's said that after the revolution, the Russian Revolution in 1917, the actual Russian lace makers were still able to continue lace making compared to some of the other lace makers in other European countries, because the communist rule nurtured the craft of lace making. They had a number of designers and teachers that they wanted to use for worldwide recognition under the communist rule. So they continued working with their lace makers and allowing them to design. The 3 major schools of lace making in Russia are Vologda, Elets, and Kharka. And the Moscow Artistic Industrial School also offered training of higher standard. Anyway, this lace survived World War II and all of the destruction during then, and in the post-World War period, a whole bunch of new artists came through and started doing more Russian lace work. So lace is a very living and evolving craft in present-day Russia, and it's just a really fun lace. A lot of designers, a lot of fun patterns. I'll show you some of the different kinds of, other than the rooster I'm working on, there are just some fun patterns. These are all in black and white, but you'll get the idea of just how fun they would be in color. Like this is like a Vitsatsky doll in the frame. There's the pattern, and there she is worked up, so you can see it's like a little Russian doll. They also have fun things, of course, like more pictures of dancing. This is a dancing cockerel rooster. And there is a rocking horse. Here's another rooster. This is called Little Maiden. And here's a really pretty, it's called Butterfly Blue. So they have just amazing, like, this is a gorgeous, like, flower piece. And all the fillings in the flowers. They just have a lot of, it's called chrysanthemums. They just have a lot of fun patterns. But they also have collars too. You can make a collar to wear. And on the front of this book that was telling more of the history and has some patterns, there's a colored picture of a collar. So, and on the front, let's see, here's like two chickens and some of the color that they did on this one. Kind of a tan with some light blue. And on this one, these are like strips of Russian technique and the different colors they're using. So I was just excited to show you some of the lace I was working on and forgot that when I was done with the stitching part of my video. Like I said, I'm kind of tired and space cadet, so I apologize for that. But I hope you enjoyed a little bit of bobbin lace trivia and history, and enjoyed the look of the rooster that I'm working on in Russian lace. So again, I say goodbye to everybody, and happy stitching and happy lacing if any of you lace. Talk to you later.